If you are on a journey of personal growth, healing, transformation, freeing your authentic self, and looking for inner peace, and you find yourself stuck and in a loop where you cannot seem to get out of, then maybe you are looking at this whole journey the wrong way, or you are at a point where seeking for inner peace or looking for inner peace or trying to create it is not helping you anymore. Of course, inner peace is important, but I think that looking or seeking for inner peace actually is a bypass or a running away from expressing all that is living inside of you. I don't think finding inner peace is your highest good or the purpose of life or even your soul's desire. Your soul's desire is to be completely human in all its shapes and forms, with all its flaws, with all its perfect imperfections. It's your desire to express your emotions, to express your creativity, to express your authenticity, to express all that is living inside of you. It's your desire to speak your truth, to set boundaries, to create your art, and to share all of who you are with the world. So seeking or looking for inner peace or trying to create it with all you have in your power is actually not really helping you find true inner peace. It's a result of you finding who you truly are, making contact with your heart and your intuition and your authentic self, and expressing all of that with the world, not suppressing or repressing. And often we are not even consciously aware of what we are suppressing or repressing because we have so much conditioning or so much judgments about the things inside of ourselves that we repress or suppress, that we do not even know it's there, and that we actually want to express it, but we do not dare to, we do not allow ourselves, we feel guilty or we feel ashamed. And you can suppress or repress all kinds of things. Of course, you can suppress the known heavy emotions, which I talk about a lot, like anger. If you suppress your anger, you suppress your boundaries, your truth, your joy, your life force energy, your creativity, your authenticity, your preferences, your needs, your desires. And that is a lot. So if you're not really used to expressing your anger, or you are not really in tune with your anger, or you are even afraid of your anger, then there's a big part of you that is not going to help you change and transform because you suppress it. While if you want to change and transform, you have to use that healthy anger. But you can also suppress your joy or your grief or your shame or your guilt. If you feel really ashamed for who you truly are, and you suppress that out of shame, and you even suppress your shame so you are not aware that you are ashamed of who you truly are, then you cannot change and transform and create the life you dream of, because subconsciously there are parts, fragmented parts inside of you, such as your shame and the things you are ashamed of, that do not take part in creating your reality. So you leave parts of yourself behind, or you do not feel connected with it. You do not feel whole. And this creates constantly a split inside yourself and fragments yourself from your wholeness. And this creates the feeling of fear, anxiety, stress, hypersensitivity, or how do you say that, overstimulation, this feeling that you do not have control over your reality and your day-to-day life. But also, if you are a woman and you suppress the feminine parts inside of you because of trauma that you have on that energy, because your mother never showed that energy, because the conditioning of our society, which is really some internalized hate or judgments towards women and the female energy, like the sexual energy in women or the more wild and angry energy of women, there's so much conditioning around that. There's so much judgment around that energy that sometimes we internalize that and we suppress those parts inside of ourselves, and we do not allow ourselves, for example, for me as a woman, if I have that, I do not allow myself to be a woman and to feel pleasure and to show my sexuality and to stand in my feminine power, or to show anger when I'm angry, etc. To be this wild and free woman. Also, the reverse is true. As a man, you can suppress your masculine energy because of a lot of judgment and unhealthy masculine energy in the past. There's so much trauma around this masculine energy, right? That has started wars, that suppressed people, etc. So if you do not allow yourself when you are a man, to stand in that energy because you have so much judgments and conditioning around the unhealthy toxic masculine energy. You suppress those parts inside of yourself, but you will never feel whole if you do not integrate those parts and own those parts and love those parts and use those parts to express who you truly are. And this list of suppressions can go on and on and on. Sexual energy, joy, desires, needs, anger, shame, guilt. It can be all kinds of things. I always say, look at what triggers you in the world and you will know what is suppressed or even repressed inside of you. And if you have suppressed and repressed parts inside of you that you do not allow to be connected to you and to integrate with you and to be a part of your day-to-day reality, you will feel as if there is something missing. You will feel not whole. You will feel lost, lonely, depressed, suppressed, burned out, tired. You will think you are tired all the time. Well, you're not really tired. You use so much energy to suppress parts inside of you that you do not have energy left to express who you are and to live your life. And this suppression, this repression is what is holding you back from truly creating change and truly feel whole and healed finally and start with living your life. So it is possible that you are looking for inner peace because you do not feel inner peace inside of you, because you do not feel wholeness inside of you. There's a war going on inside of you between all those parts that you do allow in your reality and the parts that you do not allow in your reality. And if you keep on fighting this war inside, there will not be inner peace. But seeking or looking for inner peace inside, not knowing about this suppression and repression, is not going to help you find the inner peace. That is even just more suppression or more repression of what is already suppressed and repressed. Especially when you are not aware of this. Because when I, for example, as a woman, suppress or repress my sexual energy, my feminine side, because I feel ashamed of that, I feel ashamed that I like sex, for example, then I use all my energy to repress and suppress everything that has to do with my sexual energy inside of me. Flirting, dressing up, feeling pretty, sharing my needs, my desires, telling someone that I like them, that I want something from them, etc. If I suppress and repress all of that and even judge that inside of me, I will also do that in the world. So I will also expect from others, for example, my partner, my friends, men and women, to suppress and repress those parts inside of them. And when they show the behavior that I suppress or repress inside of me, I get triggered and I judge them and I want them to change. Not knowing and not being aware of that I actually inside of me have also those parts and behaviors that they show to me, but that I suppress. And this is what is making me feel unfree. And this is what is making the world a very unsafe and unpredictable and chaotic place. Because when I go outside, every human being can show the behavior that I am suppressing or repressing inside. And I can be triggered by that all of the time. And I have to work very hard to suppress and repress all those parts inside of me. But when I allow myself to like sex, to be a sexual, sensual woman from time to time because I like that, or when I allow myself to be a woman in her full, wild, angry power, sometimes healthy anger, setting boundaries, saying no, speaking my truth, creating these videos, then I do not have to judge it in the outside world again. And also when I allow all of that inside of me, I become whole with those parts that I suppress again. I feel more acknowledged and accepted by myself. My shame dissolves, my guilt falls away, because I'm in contact with my authentic self and my desires and my needs, and I give myself what I need. I live up to it. I communicate what I want. And when I do that, I finally allow all the parts inside of me to be there. And this is creating wholeness and inner peace. And from this very honest state of being, allowing all the things inside of me to be there and to be okay and to be part of my reality and listening to them working together, let all those parts inside of me work together, I free the energy that I used to suppress those parts or repress those parts. And this energy I can use to express who I am, to make choices, to create, to build, to go after my dreams, to remove myself from situations where I do not feel safe or where I do not belong, to say no, to set a boundary, to speak my truth. I can use that energy to finally start with living. And I do not have to focus again anymore on healing, on thinking that I am afraid, on being vulnerable, on being a victim in some way of the world. And I can let this paradox live inside of me of black and white, of light and dark, of all the things that I have judgments about, recognizing them inside of me. And all of a sudden, the world doesn't become a very dark, scary place anymore. And also inside of me, it becomes more peaceful and quiet because it's okay to have desires, needs, anger, sadness, shame, guilt. And if I listen to it, own it, become acquainted with it, with all those parts inside of me, and allow them to be there, wow, the world becomes a playground. I'm more honest, more truthful. I do not have to lie. I do not have to manipulate. I do not have to control. Because that is what we do when we suppress and repress parts inside of ourselves, and we do not know that we have those parts, and we try to control and manipulate the world in such a way that the world also represses and suppresses all of that, so that it will be safe for me to keep on repressing and suppressing parts of me. When I no longer do that, the world becomes a playground. I free my creative energy. I free my authentic self. I become whole. And from that state of being, I can live. I can do the things that I want to do. I can experiment. I can play. I can create. I can become the person I dream to be. And then I do not longer feel unsafe or anxious or stressed, because I do not have suppressed or repressed parts that trying to scream for my attention. That is what I call anxiety or fear. Suppressed parts screaming for your attention. Suppressed anger screaming for you to listen to it. Suppressed joy screaming for you to drop the heaviness, step out of it, lose your guilt and start with playing. So if you are on a journey of self-discovery, healing, transformation and growth, know that you are not powerless. Know that the world is a safe place, and know that the triggers that you experience in the outside world, yes, they can have to do with trauma. I have a lot of videos on that. You can also watch them. But often they also have to do with emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual suppression or repression. Go look for the triggers in the outside world. Investigate them. Why does it trigger you? What does it say about you? What is your true desire? What is your need? What is the emotion that you do not allow? And allow all of it. Grab a pen and paper and go start writing it down. This is what triggers me, and this is why. This is actually what I truly desire, but I never dare to share with people. This is what I'm ashamed of, etc. Go write it down. Go get to know those repressed parts of yourself. Get to know them, accept them, acknowledge them, allow them. And then you will feel that if you allow those parts, you will become and feel whole and integrated again. And this will empower you very much. You will all of a sudden feel, this is who I am. This is my power. This is my life force energy. And I can use it to create the reality I dream of. Hey there, my name is Myrthe Glasbergen. I'm the founder of Beyond Psychology, and I'm also an occupational health psychologist, life and job coach, intuitive singer, and creator. And I am fascinated about the awakening and healing of humanity. I strongly believe that healed people heal the world, and this is why I'm doing everything I can to help heal as many people as possible. So if you're on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, transformation, healing, and you want to rediscover who you truly are and change yourself in your life, then subscribe to my channel for more videos on all of these topics. And if you want to help spread this message of awakening and healing, then please like this video, share this video, respond to this video, because that will definitely help. In my subscription, you can find a nice link to a free somatic exercise to start your healing journey. And you can also find the link to my online platform and community for self-discovery, healing, transformation, and growth. It's called Heart Journey, and it's here to help you rediscover who you truly are, heal yourself, transform yourself in your life so that you will use your talents and your gifts to make the world a better place. Thank you for being here and have a nice day.